Tannenbaum, oh Tannenbaum. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Reviews special Christmas Eve episode, taking a look at a beer from Northampton Brewing up in Fredericton, New Brunswick. This is Picaroon's latest edition in their Pivot Imperial IPA series. This is Picaroon's Imperial Christmas Tree IPA. 8% ABV. The blurb on the side says it was made with real New Brunswick spruce tips. Yes, real Christmas trees were harmed in making this beer. It was also, the hops they used in this one were Amarillo and Sriracha Ace. But, yeah, they actually, just like what they do in Garrison Spruce beer, is they made this IPA with tips from spruce trees. And that sounds bizarre, but it's actually a real thing. Yeah, so, the Pivot series has been around from Picaroons. I actually haven't reviewed any of the Pivot series yet, but I had a chance. I think the first one I had was Pivot number 2, and I didn't really care for it, so I wasn't really in a rush to review Picaroons. I mean, it was always that case of where they always used their traditional ringwood yeast, and it had that kind of buttery note in the background of every IPA they make, and that's just something doesn't sit well with me, especially when they use that same yeast in their 506 lager, which is supposed to be a Kolsch. But I digress. Should get back to the spirit of Christmas in here and take a look at this beer. So yeah, I picked this up recently. This has actually been kind of difficult to find because I think it's sold out of both the Picaroons General Store, and it wasn't available in NB liquor stores, even though they said it was going to be. I wasn't sure if I was going to get this in time for Christmas, but lo and behold, last night I was in visiting, or 2 nights ago, I was visiting the NB liquor store on my way home from work, and there's a couple bottles left sitting on the shelf, and it's got a really cool looking label on it where it's got, of course, the Christmas tree with Picaroons as the star and hops on the tree, and it even says Pivot in between them. I didn't notice that. It's actually a really nice label. That's by far the best Pivot label I've seen so far. Looking at the beer, big poofy white head, and of course I probably could have poured that a little better, and I know there's people out there already judging me by the crappy pour that I just made. But, in the spirit of Christmas, I'm just going to continue this review. Looking at that, very golden, brassy kind of appearance. It's almost a very orange characteristic hue to that. Like, I want to say that it looks very golden, but it's too orange to be golden. It's almost slightly reddish. Looking at the head, definitely off-white, kind of an eggshell white. Maybe darker, make it like a more yellowy than that. Very creamy looking. Let's give it a whiff. And this is, I had a chance to have a bottle of this a couple nights ago when I first got it, and this was the weird thing that really came out to me, is that you get this nice biscuity smelling malt, you get this little bit of hoppy character to it, and everything's, with the big amount of head I've got here, it's not very, very strong, but I'm also getting this weird, like spruce tree, that almost car air freshener kind of smell. Oh, let's put her down the hatch. Cheers. Woo. Well, it has its redeeming qualities, and it's weird at the same time, because you get this nice biscuity malt, you get this nice, like, very piney hops, predominantly piney hops, maybe a little bit of orange to it, a little hint of caramel, but the whole thing is masked by this either car air freshener or that spray. Like, if you have an artificial Christmas tree and you want it to smell like a real Christmas tree, you buy those cans of spray. It almost smells like that tastes. It's got this kind of weird, not necessarily chemical fir tree smell or taste, but it's very pungent and powerful. I get more. I'm not sure if it's fake or not, but I get more spruce taste out of this than I do out of the Garrison Spruce beer, and it's probably because that's a big, strong, beefy barley wine of a beer with spruce tips in it, and this one doesn't have that much malt, to back it to counterbalance the spruce. But at the same time, I have to give Picaroons credit because this finishes a whole lot cleaner. Or at least I don't notice the characteristics of the yeast that they normally use, and I don't get the kind of like a butter biscuit kind of taste. This is actually finishes really quite clean with just a lingering bit of spruce and pine. That's very unique, and that's what I like about this. It's completely different from what I was expecting. And at the same time, I'm gonna have to give it kudos where credit's due, because it's definitely the best of the Pivot series that I've had so far. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to think about this thing. Yeah, it's different. I mean, it's definitely drinkable. It's unique in the fact that you get this big spruce note. And it's Christmas themed, right? At the same time, I don't know. I would say that this is the best of the Pivot series that I've had to date. I'm going to give this a 3.75 out of 5. The average Joe rating out of 5. Anyway, this looks like there's actually a piece of spruce tree stuck in my beer. I don't know where that came from. But, I will say it's weird. But at the same time, I think it's unique enough that Picaroons to just make a limited release of this every year. Maybe next year dial down the spruce a little. But for the most part, I think this is the best of the Pivot series I've had so far. Of course, I've kind of been ignoring them since Pivot number 3. But, I think I had 5, but I'm not sure. Anyway, maybe I should take a closer look at some of the newer ones, because that's actually quite good. Anyway, yeah, I do recommend it if you guys can find it. At the time of this recording, at the time I hopefully upload this review, that it might still be available after Christmas is done, and or you might actually have it in your fridge and you're saving it and you're curious what it's going to taste like. Well, you know what? It tastes like biscuity malt, piney hops, and car air freshener. And it's an odd combination, and it's going to taste a little weird. At the same time, it's so friggin' unique that I don't mind it at all. Alright, thanks for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review of Picaroon's Imperial Christmas Tree IPA. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you folks later, and have a Merry Christmas. Cheers.